So hi everyone. Before we start, we have a special guest today. So this is my wife here. She came all the way from Israel. So I promised not to embarrass you, but here I am. Great. So I'd like to talk about Namogoo today. I'm Ohad Greenshpan, co-founder and CTO of the company. Wait a second. I'll take this. And today I would like to talk less about technology, although it's easy to turn me on with technology. I will talk more about the phenomenon and the problems that we're solving, a problem that is very relevant for all of us when we go online, when we shop online, when we browse online. These kind of problems are the ones that impact us on a day-to-day basis. Okay, before we start, we'll start with a quiz or with a game. Anyone here, I'd like to ask you to raise your hand if you see something awkward, something weird about this. What's weird? Exactly. So, a huge wall, slogan of Nike on Nike's flagship store with a huge Adidas ad right next to it, right? So it looks weird, right? It would never happen on a physical store, in the physical space. Nike would never allow something like this to happen. Or something like this, right? A huge promotion of Adidas right next to Nike's huge logo, right? Very easy to control, very easy to see in the physical space, very hard to do, very hard to monitor, and very hard to see, to detect in the online space. So this is how it looks in the physical space. This is a diagram that shows the phenomenon on the online space. In the next slide, I'll show you how it looks like in the real browser. But this is the phenomenon. This is what we call online journey hijacking or customer journey hijacking. It's someone or some entities taking over the customer journey with having one thing in mind, to take the customer attention outside the main flow, having the customer click on things, see things that he's not supposed to see, or be redirected to another website to buy there on another site. This is how it looks in the browser, right? The phenomenon that you see here is, again, what we call customer journey hijacking or online journey hijacking. It's illegitimate content or content that shouldn't have been there on the session that you find when you browse online. And I see people nodding their heads. It happens to us every once in a while. We go to a website, we see things that we're not sure if they're supposed to be there, ads of all types, or products or promotions that we have a feeling that it's not part of the original session. This can get to my browser by browsing through a non-secure Wi-Fi, a free Wi-Fi, by downloading extensions or toolbars or plugins, or when I download some software, some free software that gets bundled with some other tools that get downloaded on my machine. This is how it looks in a video, right? This is a kind of experience that the user would have that Namogoo prevents. Okay, this is what we do. You can see, before we explain how the solution works, you can see how native these ads are to the experience of the user, right? You see a pair of Converse shoes. You are not sure if they're part of Nike, you're not part of Nike, you click on it, you find yourself in another site, then you go back and you get distracted, or either you don't buy, or you go buy on another store that's not Nike's, right? So loss of a huge amount of revenue for companies like Nike and so on. We started the company almost 5 years ago with lots of market education, working with the largest brands that I will show in a few minutes. Last year, we're proud to say that Gartner joined this market education effort by providing us the cool vendor in the digital commerce space for opening this new market in the digital commerce space. A very unique approach to a very unique problem that's out there for years. This is a sample set of our customers. We're very, very active in Europe and in the US, and now penetrating also into Latin America and also Asia. With all the brands that you see here, and we have many more that I could not mention here in terms of the company policy, but companies like Argos and ASICS and Bill.com and Tumi and Samsonite and Upwork, many marketplaces, e-commerce companies, travel companies, and we're about to close a few multi-year strategic deals with the largest e-commerce companies that you all know. Namogoo is currently deployed on over 5 billion page views a week on very large B2C companies, protecting them globally on all the page views that they serve online. These are the verticals that we work in: e-commerce, travel, marketplaces, insurtech, fintech, subscriptions, and we're about to penetrate to a few others in 2020. What's preventing the online journey hijacking, or how the solution works? Essentially what we do, we make sure that we take away or prevent all the distracting content or code or malicious content or malicious code that's running on the browser that hasn't been served by the publisher, by the e-commerce company. So essentially preserving the authenticity of the session, of the experience, of the journey, making sure that whatever you see as a user is what the website planned for you to see, right? So no surprises. In terms of value, so we're not a security company. We provide business value. When we are deployed on the site, we constantly show uplift in any business metric that is important to an online company, starting from 2 to 5% increase in conversion rate, revenue per visit, checkout and cart abandonment, retention rates. Obviously, when you take all these things away, companies convert more, they spend more, they buy more, they abandon less, and they come back more to buy more. So that's the thing. Let's hear what of our customers have to say about Namogoo.
The first time Namogoo showed us not only the scale of what was happening, but visualized for us what was happening was with simulated screenshots of what our customers were seeing. It hurt. We always felt that we were in control of our website. It turns out that we were not in full control of what our customers saw of our website. One of the realizations that we have with the results from Namogoo is that if 20% of our customers are infected and having a subpar experience, that's also 20% of our marketing dollars for that traffic. In the POV that we had with Namogoo, we saw an increasing conversion rate of 2.18%. Increasing conversion rate by that amount is extremely hard to do. There are certain things that we've done that provided some amount of value. They all pale in comparison to what we got out of Namogoo, and it just really goes to show that the user experience is that important.
Technology slide. This is the only technology slide, I promise. When we started the company, we understood that technology has to be based on learning. This is not buzzword. This is actually what's happening because you have no other choice. Patterns on the web are changing on a daily basis. Websites are changing on a daily basis. So if you want to have a mechanism that blocks illegitimate content or illegitimate code, you need to understand first what's legit, right? You need to classify all day long code to be either legit or malicious. So our code runs again on 5 billion page views a week and growing, analyzing web patterns all the time, understanding what's good and what's bad, and blocking in real time when the page renders the illegitimate ones. Company overview. So started 5 years ago in 2014, over 100 employees. Offices are in Israel, Boston, and London. Raised $29 million until now from great and amazing investors that help the company a lot to grow. And we are now working on strategic partnerships with strategic partners like Microsoft, Google, Salesforce, SAP, and so forth. Some numbers, 250% growth year over year. very aggressive in terms of growth. And one KPI that we're very proud of is that very extremely low churn rate that we see from customers. So 0% churn, meaning that our customers do not leave. We have customers that stay with us for 4 or 5 years already, multi-year deals with them, over 100 brands, covering users in 242 countries, unlocked $1.5 billion in revenue until now. We don't stop here. Our next big thing is to go beyond the user scripts, things that the user comes with as being infected, but also to expand to all the third and fourth party services that the website deploys. In many cases, they don't know that they deployed it, or in other cases, other services come with these services. So third, fourth, fifth, sixth party services are running on sites. Companies lose control. All the solutions today are plug and play, JavaScript, do not go through security anymore, and companies lose control. So Namogoo, the vision of the company, is to become the client-side guard, or the client-side control and visibility layer platform to provide visibility and control on everything that's running on your site that's not yours, right? So what we see in practice is that 53% of the code running on your site is not yours, either coming from the user or coming from vendors that you work with. I'll end with that. We're hosting in June 24th to 27th the first Israeli e-commerce innovation summit. So I invite you all to log in through the site ilecommerce.com. We have amazing companies joining, companies like Deloitte and Microsoft, and amazing startups like Site and Optimove and the Yotpo, Dynamic Yield. Great companies to expose you to new technologies in the field of e-commerce. Thank you very much.